I'm out here at Monte Rei, but just before I left at the weekend, I had a fantastic session with a student of mine who, by his own admission, just couldn't hit a driver. I mean, his irons were fairly solid, but he came to me because the driver was, well, it was unworkable really. The poor shot was a low kind of top left, which as you can imagine is really destructive and frustrating. But even the good shot was a weak slice to the right. So he was kind of back to hitting hybrids off the tee, etc. Well, 2 or 3 sessions in, working on some fundamentally sound principles, and the end of the session on Saturday, as you'll see, he's hitting these laser beams time and time again down the range, easily 30 yards longer, but more importantly, he's moving well, he's moving in a much more bold and athletic manner, and much more confident in the strike. Now, so what we'll do in this video is we will use his progress as our template, and we'll look at some of his footage, and I'll take you through the same 2 simple principles, and we'll see if we can get the same level of transformation in your driving.
I've never hit 3 consecutively that good in my life.
Now, as always, I'll provide a link down below to a practice plan so you can go through the same step-by-step process that Sean and I went through. And also, if you want more information like this, then please consider subscribing. And I produce a video like this every week on some level of technique, short game, sports psychology, and everything in between. Okay, let's have a look at what is working then. This is Sean hitting an iron, and you know what? That looks pretty good. I'm sure you'll agree. But when we look a little bit closer, the telltale signs are he's not moving especially well into the follow-through. He looks quite static in his pelvis. His shoulders don't really get past square on. And when I questioned Sean, to paraphrase, he said he's basically built his swing on 2 principles, one of which is compression, which he gets a lot of with an iron. But when we look from face on, this is with the driver, you'll see that that continues through, and it leaves him moving his chest over the top of his pelvis. So he finishes with his kind of head in front of his pelvis, which is not good for any swing, to be honest, but especially not good for hitting it, kind of launching it 250 in that way. And the other principle he's worked hard on, particularly as things started to not work out with the driver, he's tried to be more and more stable. And stable ultimately means not moving. So he's tried to do less and less with his legs and just kind of make it more playable. And of course, compression and not moving is a downward spiral that's going to take you a long way away from being really competent with the driver. So we needed to get Sean moving, and this is the first exercise that we went through. This is a drill I call the proud albatross, and the reason I call it that is because I was teaching a local school recently, Wycombe Abbey. They're relative beginners, and I said to them, I just made a move like this, and I said, what does that look like? And I was expecting the girls to say, oh, you've moved your back foot, your knees moved, your hips. But one girl said, it looks like a proud albatross. And I thought, that is absolutely brilliant. It is a really kind of big, proud movement. I said, okay, and what does this look like? And I don't know, it was a broken duck or something. Anyway, so proud albatross has really stuck. So Sean is doing the proud albatross. Now the key thing here that makes it a proud movement is we're not just turning through, we are turning through and standing up and pushing the pelvis forwards in this manner. So we're finishing with the belt buckle over the sort of lead ankle, and the chest is up and the head is always behind, certainly finishing behind that belt buckle. So we have this motion of extension, so the pelvis pushing through this way. Really important to be using the ground and to keep the club swinging from the inside and shallowing out. So then we took that proud albatross motion to the ball, and you know what, it was better, it was good, but he still had that slice going on, because I guess because of the way he was moving his pelvis before, he'd never really learned to release it. So in this video, you'll see him with the, I don't even know what that's called, it's a device that helps you really get the sense of snap. And in his first few efforts, there was no snap to it at all. I mean, it was, but it was quiet and it was late. So we had a quick discussion then on how we're going to get the energy from the middle, so you in your body, out into the club head. Now, of course, an important part is also we're not hitting balls here, because, you know, as you can imagine, you try something new, you hit a ball, it doesn't work out very well. It's hard to kind of lean into it more and more and trust the motion. So we're just learning to interact with that crack of the whip. And here Sean is getting really good at it. He's not just pulling the arms and swooshing the head. He's actually learning to interact with the way he's using his lower half is connected to how he's swooshing the club, slowing the handle and speeding the head, literally from the ground up. And that must feel absolutely transformational for Sean, who previously was all about being stable and really just over-controlled. Wow. That's a laser beam.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Now Sean doesn't know this yet, but when I see him next, we're going to work more on pushing the pressure forwards through his feet while keeping the head back for longer. And that would again accentuate that launch with the driver and the pelvis moving in front of the head. But I mean, up till now, he's done an amazing job. And the important thing is he's really enjoying hitting the driver again. So remember, I'll put a link to a practice plan in the description below. But before I see you next time, good luck, play well.